What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 752 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. It's your boy KB, coming at you solo dolo for the first time in quite some time. Just a busy week and had to push some scheduling stuff around and make things work. So I'm coming at you solo, gearing up for the weekend here. Recording this on a Friday, so I apologize for the delay. But we got a fun one here. Going to break down the Phillies, taking 3 out of 4 from the Marlins. Huge series on deck against the Mets at Citizens Bank Park this weekend, including Sunday Night Baseball, where your boy and CFO Margie will be in the building, holding it down for the people in 329. We'll dive into that. We will also dive into this Ace Bailey debacle with the Sixers, because the Sixers are the only team who could get a top pick and bungle this so astronomically bad. We'll also talk a little bit of Waterdogs, as I'll be in Baltimore this weekend as well. As the Dogs coming off their homecoming weekend, we will see what they can do against the New York Atlas upcoming and try to keep the winning vibes going here for our PLL team in Philadelphia. And no Union yet. They're still on break with all of the international stuff going on, so they are not back until next Wednesday, when we'll bring up the Union again. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. We're on every social platform. Be sure to follow us. Subscribe to the pod. I'll say it again one more time for good measure. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. It goes a long way for helping not only this show continue to grow, but it helps all of the shows on our network continue to grow. It allows us to do more dope stuff with and for you guys. So keep on subscribing on Apple and Spotify and leaving those 5-star reviews. And, of course, guys, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It is all on our YouTube channel. We are currently at 1,077 subscribers, which means we're 23 subscribers, just 23 away from our next subscriber milestone. So keep subscribing, leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. And on top of that, I've been plotting and scheming in the shadows with a new project that I feel very passionate about. And if we get to 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, I know that's a tall task. That's another 1,000. But if we get to 2,000 subscribers, say by the end of the year, I'll announce the project once we get to 2,000. It's a project I've wanted to do for a very long time. I've reworked it in a way, and it's ready to rock and roll whenever I hit all systems go. So if you subscribe, we'll announce the project because I'm very excited about it. I think we can do a lot of fun stuff with it, but won't get that until we get to 2,000 subscribers on the main YouTube channel. So keep subscribing. And guys, as you know, this show is proudly presented by the city of Vineland, and the city of Vineland municipal calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to remain engaged with city government, participate in local events, and just build awareness around our awesome city here in Vineland, New Jersey. You can also follow the City of Vineland on social media via their Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube pages. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast.
At the Vineland Municipal Utilities, we understand that when our business community thrives, we all win. As a not-for-profit utility, our reliability, lower cost of operations, and flexibility in meeting customer needs make doing business in Vineland beneficial to your bottom line. What's more, we are able to do so while maintaining our commitment to environmental stewardship. We look forward to helping you achieve your business goals now and for years to come. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Philadelphia Phillies did what they had to do. They win another series, coming off a sweep of the Blue Jays, coming off of 2 out of 3 against the Cubs. They take 3 out of 4 from Miami down there against the Marlins, a team that has traditionally given the Phillies fits over the years. So to take 3 out of 4 from Miami is awesome. And now you go into a weekend series that every game is on primetime. Friday is on Apple TV. Saturday is on Fox. Sunday is Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN against your hated rival in the New York Mets. A fantastic series win. Obviously, the one hiccup being on Tuesday when you lose 8-3, but Monday you win 5-2. Wednesday you win 4-2. Thursday you win 2-1. You lose 8-3 on Tuesday. Things kind of got out of hand with some defensive miscues. Nick Castellanos gets benched for saying something that Rob Thompson felt and deemed inappropriate, so he got benched for the first time in quite some time. I mean, to take 3 out of 4 from the Marlins, that's what you want. That was like bare minimum. You know, if you didn't sweep them, you needed to win the series. The Phillies did just that. The Mets have been on a tirade of losing, and they lose to the Braves. I believe they got swept by Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. They lost 5-4 on Tuesday, 5-0 on Wednesday, 7-1 on Thursday. So they get swept by the Braves. The Mets now tied with the Phillies in the division at 45-30. And the only reason the Mets are ahead of them is because they have the tiebreaker from earlier in the season. Now you get a chance to get your lick back on your home turf. This is the first time you've seen the Mets in Philadelphia since the playoffs, and now is the time for the Phillies to assert their dominance. I want to see this team obviously sweep the Mets. They're down right now. It would be great to sweep them. Take 2 out of 3. Take 2 out of 3. Get to the top of the division. Win the series. But in an ideal world, because the Mets swept you earlier in the year, you want to see the Phillies kind of answer back and sweep them as well to kind of level the playing field for later on in the season. But I just need to see the Phillies win this series. Win it at home. Make this a rowdy, rambunctious, crazy type of environment at Citizens Bank Park. And it's truly, when you look at some of the past series that we've had at Citizens Bank Park, you know, the Brewers series was an unfortunate just debacle, but it did feel elevated. You know, the Braves coming into town, the Phillies did their job and took 2 out of 3 against them. You know, some of the series earlier in the year kind of fell off a little bit, but overall, like, you've made Citizens Bank Park a playoff environment in June. You know, against the Blue Jays, I was there on the Father's Day game when they won 11-4. Like, that felt like a playoff environment. And that's what you need to do. If you're going to Citizens Bank Park this weekend, I know it's going to be crazy hectic with the Club World Cup going on at the Link too, but make the most of it. Go, if you're going to any of these games, make it rowdy. Make it, but do it responsibly. Responsible rowdiness. We should put that on a shirt. Responsible rowdiness. You know, make noise. Make it uncomfortable for the New York Mets, who their pitching lineup is far from ideal in the grand scheme of what the Phillies are going to be throwing at them, where the Phillies have Wheeler going Friday night, Mick Abel going on Saturday in his first taste of Phillies Mets. And then on Sunday, it'll be Jesus Luzardo. It is Zach Wheeler going up against Blade Tidwell, who has pitched in one game and has a 14.73 ERA this season. If the Phillies do not tattoo that guy, I will be beyond livid. Beyond livid. This dude stinks. Make his life a living hell and tax the shit out of that Mets bullpen. Make it so that their bullpen is gassed going into the full-blown weekend. Then it'll be Mick Abel against Griffin Canning, who's had a pretty solid year for the Mets so far. He's got a 3.8 ERA, 6-3 on the season. And then the Sunday night baseball matchup, it'll be, I believe it's David Peterson against Jesus Luzardo. Peterson's been one of their best pitchers, so that'll be an interesting matchup nonetheless, especially with kind of some of the hiccups Luzardo's had here and there, but set the tone on Friday. Set the tone Friday night. Make it electric. Connect the city, and the city connects, baby, okay? Like, make it so unbearably uncomfortable that the Mets have no idea what's going to hit them. You know, make their bullpen tax. Make them throw pitches. Be patient at the plate. I'm very optimistic, especially with Wheeler on the mound, that the Phillies can dominate this game and really set the tone, jump into first place in the division after one game. And then the tone for the series is set there. You know, you assert your dominance, you put yourself out there and say, hey, this is our town, this is our stadium, this is our division to lose. You're not taking it from us. Keep on slipping down the division. We'll see you as a wild card, New York, if you get so lucky, okay? I just want to see the Phillies showcase that, like, the Mets are not their kryptonite. There's been far too much talk since the postseason last year that the Mets just have the Phillies number. And I get in the playoffs that happened. I get early in the season that happened. But this is a completely different team than what we saw in April. You know, the Phillies had their moments in April. May brought a lot of optimism, in my opinion. June has been up and down, but right now it's on the upswing. And you're 15 games over 500, and we're a little bit past the halfway mark in June. It's pretty the notion that the Phillies are not a good baseball team is just completely false. Do they have holes? Yes. Do they have, inefficient play at certain spots? Yes. But guess what? I am genuinely of the belief that anything is possible for this team because of the starting rotation they have. When you're throwing out Wheeler, Luzardo, Sanchez, Ranger Suarez, the way Mick Abel has been pitching, hopefully when Aaron Nola comes back, he's good to go, and that gives you more ammunition in this rotation. Andrew Painter is going to join this rotation after the All-Star break. Anything is truly possible with this starting rotation, because you saw Christopher Sanchez in the finale against the Marlins go 8 innings, saved the bullpen for the most part. And when you have guys going deep in games like that, when Wheeler can go 6, 7, 8 almost every outing, when Sanchez can go 8 innings, when Ranger's been going 7 innings consistently, the deficiencies in the bullpen aren't as spotlighted. They're not under a microscope because you're getting depth and innings eaten by your starting rotation. And if the Phillies can continue to do that, but also at the trade deadline, go out and get a left-handed reliever, go out and get a right-handed reliever that are high leverage arms, that takes pressure off of Matt Strahm, that takes pressure off of Tanner Banks, that takes pressure off of some of these guys in the back end of the bullpen, Orion Kerkering, who has pitched phenomenally since May 1st, might I add. When August rolls around, for the duration of the season, you'll have Jose Alvarado in the bullpen to help you get to the finish line of winning the division, clinching a playoff spot, whatever it may be. But also you need that left-handed high-leverage reliever to replace Alvarado's absence in the postseason. You need another right-handed reliever in this bullpen because Max Lazar is not the answer. Okay, we all know that. We all know that Jordan Romano has been very up and down this entire season. We all know that Taijuan Walker is more of a long man. Joe Ross has not been ideal per se. Michael Mercado is not the answer in the bullpen. So the Phillies have some work to do with the bullpen, and I know maybe Mick Abel moves to the pen in the postseason. You know, we don't know what the overall plan will be, but at the end of the day, the Phillies are going to be able to accomplish a lot simply because the rotation is as good as it is, and it's going to carry this team a ton and mask a lot of the inefficiencies that they've had. They also just need to address getting a left fielder to platoon with Max Kepler, getting center field kind of locked in and under control. And Brandon Marsh has played phenomenally over the last month, I'd say. You know, you look at what Brandon Marsh has been able to accomplish over the past 15, 30 some odd games. You know, in his last 30 games, Brandon Marsh is hitting .308, 24 hits, 1 home run, 7 RBI, 12 walks, 19 strikeouts, slugging .436, an OBP of .396. And in his last 15 games, he's hitting .333, an OBP of .400, a slugging percentage of .462. He's seeing the ball really well right now, and that's a huge benefit for this team, especially because Johan Rojas has been a disappointment at the plate. You know, Marsh turning it on, Alec Boehm turning it on. Boehm at one point this year was hitting 150, okay? He's up to 291. If Boehm hits a home run tonight, on Friday, and gets on base the way he has been, we could see Boehm's average climb to 300 by the end of the weekend. For a guy who started as slow as he did, he's rounding into form and has been on fire since the calendar turned to May. Looking at his stats over the last 30 games, Boehm's hitting .331, slugging .496, an OBP of .362. In his last 15 games, he's got 12 RBI, 5 walks, just 9 strikeouts, 1 stolen base, a .345 average, a .397 OBP, and a .500 slugging percentage. Alec Boehm's seeing the ball so well at the plate right now, and it's a huge reason why the Phillies have been able to stay afloat when they've had bullpen issues, when they've had Bryce Harper out of the lineup. I've been super impressed by Boehm and Marsh really figuring things out, and I hope it continues. I hope to continue to see this from those guys because Boehm is on track to be an all-star again, as he should be. Trey Turner has been a huge reason why this team has been able to stay afloat at the top of the lineup, leading off and being a menace on the base path, on the base paths. Excuse me. Say that 10 times fast. Kyle Schwarber starting to round into form, you know, here in June and kind of, you know, putting bat to ball and sending nukes out into the outfields. And we're doing this all without Bryce Harper. Pretty damn good if I do say so myself. Otto Kemp has been very impressive. You know, the Phillies, the hyper criticism of the Phillies that so many people view baseball as a game-to-game thing rather than almost a week-to-week, month-to-month type of sport. Yes, it's okay to be pissed off when the Phillies lose a game. Yes, it's okay to be critical when they lose a game a certain way. But for the most part, one game is not going to determine whether or not this team is successful. It's a much larger scaled picture. It's a much broader entity that you need to take a look at. And this team's playing extremely well right now. They're getting contributions from a lot of guys. And the rotation is the best in baseball, like I said it would be the moment that the Phillies traded for Jesus Luzardo. And they're doing it without Aaron Nola. Pretty good. And like I mentioned with Bowman Marsh and Otto Kemp, I got to give a tip of the cap to those guys. My tip of the cap brought to you by our awesome pals over at 47. Guys, there's no better way to protect your head this summer than wearing 47 on top of your dome. It is the best headwear in the game. I love the hitch style, the rope hitch as well. One of my favorite go-tos. Anytime I'm at Citizens Bank Park, I am rocking a new Phillies 47 hat. I genuinely love 47. It is a brand I dreamt about working with from the moment we started this podcast and really started diving into the business side of things. And the fact that 47's on board with us means the world to me. They are truly my go-to headwear of choice. I'm always at the 47 Alley store when I'm at Citizens Bank Park. I will be picking up a hat that is a Citizens Bank Park exclusive this week as well, that you'll be seeing me wearing on the pods sooner than later. But 47, truly the best, and they have every single headwear option, whether it's MLB, NHL, NBA, NFL, minor league baseball, college, NASCAR, soccer. Plus, they have so many different collections as well, from the Indy 500 that just happened a couple weeks ago. They got the Retro Logos collection, the TGL, and so much more. Check out their website. They got the Petroni Foods collection that they did as a collaboration for Fanatics Fest with Christian Petroni, with Yankee Stadium concessions. Pretty cool thing there. They got their mystery sale going on right now. You save 50% or more and an extra 30% off when you buy 2 or more items. I got to get that Ranchero hitch. They got the Gimme collection, the 47 Gimme collection for all the golfers out there, plus so much more. Use our link in the description. Shop with our friends at 47 and get free shipping on all orders when you use our link and you join the 47 family. Just create an account on their site. It's free to create. There's no charge whatsoever, and you get free shipping on all orders. Plus, you earn points on every purchase you make, which racks up to be a whole heck of a lot of importance, because right now, guys, just on my account alone, I have enough points to get a free hat if I so choose. Okay? Join the 47 family. Use our link in the description to shop with our friends at 47, and we thank 47 for being a proud partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Like I said, tip of the cap to Brandon Marsh, Alec Boehm, and Otto Kemp. Those guys have been dynamic for this team to be where they are right now, and I think that's such a huge thing to know that you can rely on those guys right now. There was a lot of moments in time where so many people were down on Boehm, Marsh, didn't really know what Otto Kemp was going to bring, and here we are as those guys continue to deliver for this team and keep them in the mix heading into the tail end of June, heading into this massive series against the Mets. And obviously, as we near closer to the trade deadline, it answers a lot of questions about how Dave Dombrowski and this front office want to address the trade deadline, which I think you need to push a lot of the chips in the middle of the table and splurge a bit this deadline. You know, you look at some of the moves that Dave Dombrowski has made, and we've talked about this a ton on the show. There's 2 guys on this roster right now, on the current active roster, that have made it past the trade deadline for the Phillies. It's Brandon Marsh and Tanner Banks. You know, Rodolfo Castro's down at Lehigh Valley, sure. But nobody's really stayed. They haven't been able to retain players that they acquire at the deadline. You know, you look at the likes of Syndergaard, Ian Kennedy, Kyle Gibson, who did stay an additional year, but he's no longer here. You know, you look at Michael Lorenzen. You look at some of these players, Austin Hayes. It's been Estevez was a huge one that I wish they would have re-signed. It's one of those things that I want the Phillies to get high-quality players to add to this roster, but also be able to retain them and make them a part of this culture of Phillies baseball, and make sure that the guys you're acquiring fit the clubhouse, fit the vibe, fit what you're trying to accomplish, and make sure that they're here longer than just August, September, October. 3 months for more than 50% of the guys you've acquired is kind of crazy. So I want sustainability at the trade deadline. But we've got time before we talk about the deadline. But huge series on deck against the Mets. I want to hear your thoughts about what could be in the possibility here for the Phillies. Leave me a voicemail at speakpipe.com/undergroundsportsphiladelphia. It is the easiest way to get involved with the show. We'll play the voicemails on every episode that you leave us a voicemail. Want to hear from you guys. Let me know how you're feeling about the Mets. Call in during and after games as well. The voicemail line is like A.J. Brown. That bad boy is always open. Speakpipe.com/undergroundsportsphiladelphia. Chime in during this Mets series. I want to hear what you guys have to say about the series, during the series, and everything else in between. Before I do keep it pushing, though, because it is the summertime, guys, and there's no better place to go than our friends at Rita's Italian Ice in Sewell, New Jersey. We love Rita's here at Underground Sports Philadelphia. They had us out for a live show a couple weeks ago. We did a blind taste test. That was absolutely delicious. I dream of that chocolate strawberry cream ice. It is just so delicious, so flavorful. Rita's is the place to go to cool down all summer. It's going to be hot this coming week. You need a place to cool off, cool down, and just devour some delicious treats, from their Italian ice to the gelatis, which are my personal favorite, to the blendinis, the concrete, and more. Rita's is the place to do it. Visit our friends at Rita's in Sewell at 288 Egg Harbor Road in Sewell, New Jersey. And if you want to check out the full menu of flavors that Rita's has to offer, go to ritasice.com. And also view their nutritional facts as well if you need any information there. But again, visit 288 Egg Harbor Road in Sewell, New Jersey, and check out our friends at Rita's and tell them that Underground Sports Philadelphia sent you. As we move to another weekend, I do want to pull up we won't do run differentials. We'll save run differentials for Monday's show, but I do want to pull up the current standings for the Platinum Plunk Award, and the Platinum Plunk is our way of keeping track of the hit by pitch category across Major League Baseball for both the National League and American League player leaders, team leader, and Philadelphia Phillies leader. And right now in the National League, it's a two-way tie between two NL Central players, Wilson Contreras at the top. Now, with Caleb Durbin, they've both been hit by 12 pitches this season, leading the National League. But leading the way overall in Major League Baseball and the American League, it is Minnesota Twins infielder Ty France. Monsieur France. Leading the way with 13 hit by pitches so far this season. Looking at the Phillies leaders, Kyle Schwarber, all by himself once again. He's been hit by 5 pitches this year, followed by Trey Turner with 4, Bryce Harper, Alec Boehm, Max Kepler, Nick Castellanos, and Otto Kemp all been hit by 3 pitches. Otto Kemp has surged to the top there. JT Realmuto has been hit by 2. Bryson Stott and Mundo Sosa and Rafael Marchand have been hit by 1, which leaves Brandon Marsh, Johan Rojas as the only 2 on the Major League roster actively, and then Weston Wilson, Cal Stevenson, and now Buddy Kennedy back with the Phillies, which is exciting. I'm happy to see Buddy back with the big league club. So those are your Phillies leaders. And then as we look at the overall team leaders in Major League Baseball in the hit-by-pitch category, folks, we've got 2 teams that have entered the 100 zone. The Seattle Mariners have been hit by a league-high 116 pitches since we last recorded, followed by the Minnesota Twins, who have won the award for April and May. They're in second with 101. The New York Mets are at 92. Tied at 87 are the Reds and the Guardians. The Battle of Ohio comes to the Platinum Plunk Award. The LA Angels at 86. The Diamondbacks are at 84. The Rays and Blue Jays are at 78. The Red Sox and Nationals are both at 73. The Cubs are at 70. The Astros are at 67, which is league average. Then at 64, it's the Orioles and the Dodgers. The Phillies are at 62. How are the Phillies at 62? I'm going to have to double check that again. The Pirates are at 60. The Braves are... This is for 2020. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong season, everyone. The wrong season here. Golly. Reverse. Yeah, this makes more sense. I apologize, everyone. I apologize. Leading the way at 48 is the New York Mets, followed by the Minnesota Twins at 47. The Cardinals are at 40. The Mariners are at 37, as are the Washington Nationals. At 36 are the Red Sox and the Angels. The Diamondbacks and the Astros are at 35. The Orioles are at 32. The Yankees are at 32. The Tigers and Brewers are at 31. League average is at 30. Then the Rockies, Phillies, and Blue Jays are at 29. At 28, it's the Dodgers, the Pirates, the Giants, and the Rangers. The Guardians are at 27. At 25, it's the Tampa Bay Rays. At 24, it's Kansas City. Cincinnati at 23. Atlanta at 22. San Diego at 21. The Cubs are at 20. The Athletics are at 18. The Marlins are at 18. And the White Sox are at 14. And those are your official Platinum Plunk Award standings. We love to see it. We love to see it. The grittiest players. And the grit deserves an ice-cold Kenwood beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com, use the Kenny tracker to see who's got Kenwood beer on tap in the Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Maryland, Delaware, and New Jersey areas. You can also find Kenwood beer at your local liquor stores in those markets. Again, that's kenwoodbeer.com. Must be 21 or older to do so. And as always, guys, please drink responsibly. Shout out to Kenwood Beer for quenching the ever so delicious thirst of the Platinum Plunk Award here in 2025. Before I keep it pushing, though, I do want to talk to you guys about our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company. You want to stand out in the crowd, whether you're going to Citizens Bank Park, the Link, Subaru Park, gearing up for the Wells Fargo Center that will soon be Xfinity Mobile Arena, or you're just lounging at home watching your favorite sports teams, or you want to rep your favorite Philly sports podcast, PHI Apparel Company is the place to do it, because with their unique designs for all, there is no doubt in our minds you will stand out in the crowd no matter where you are. Go to phiapparel.co, and when you go to checkout, use code UNDERGROUND to get 10% off your entire order from our friends at PHI Apparel Company. Again, that's phiapparel.co, code UNDERGROUND for 10% off your next merch order, and stand out in the crowd with the official merch partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's another PLL weekend on deck for the people as we gear up to watch the Philadelphia Waterdogs take on the New York Atlas, coming off a 1-1 homecoming weekend. The Dogs are playing well. Michael Sowers, Philly's own, is an MVP favorite, on pace to shatter the single-season assist record that was set just last year by New York's Jeff Teat. And I just love the way the Waterdogs are playing. Friend of the network, Matt DeLuca, is playing extremely well in goal. Kieran McCardle, Thomas McConvey, Jack Hanna, and the rest of those boys on offense, led by Michael Sowers, are doing the damn thing. And this is a team, much like we mentioned on Monday's episode, getting behind the Union. The Waterdogs are a team I would love to see you all get behind. We took intern Jacob to his first PLL weekend last weekend. He fell in love with the sport. Okay, obviously he's still a basketball and football guy, a baseball guy, but lacrosse is now in his lexicon. I genuinely urge you, the Waterdogs on Saturday will be on ESPN at 4 o'clock. It's before the Phillies get going. You'll have plenty of time to turn on the Phils. 4 o'clock, ESPN Maine, the Waterdogs will be playing. I'll be there. You might see me on TV. I can't urge you all enough. Support this team. They are exciting, they are fun, and they have championship pedigree. Okay? And what do we love more than a championship pedigree team in Philadelphia? not too much. Okay? You're not going to hear Waterdogs talk on local sports radio. You're not going to hear it on most Philly sports podcasts, but you're going to get it from us because we love the PLL, we love the Waterdogs, and we want to see the PLL succeed. We're going to talk about the Waterdogs all season long on this show. We're working to get Waterdogs players on this show in particular, and we want to do a lot more with them, obviously moving forward with our relationships with the PLL, with guys on the Dogs. So I can't recommend it enough. If you're home on Saturday, it's going to be hot. It's going to be uncomfortably hot outside. If you want to cool down, stay inside, go get some Ritas, and then kick your feet up, 4 o'clock on ESPN. Go watch the Waterdogs ball out against the New York Atlas. It's going to be high energy, lots of scoring, lots of just electricity at a historic venue at Homewood Field at Johns Hopkins University. It's truly like the Wrigley, the Fenway, the old Yankee Stadium of lacrosse. You feel the history as soon as you walk through the gates at Homewood Field. I'm excited to get back there this weekend, and I'll be bringing you all the Waterdogs coverage, boots on the ground, paws on the ground, if you will, for this show, and then obviously covering the league as a whole for Outside the Box, which we have a great episode for you guys coming out this week as well that you won't want to miss. But the Dogs are looking good. Michael Sowers is an MVP candidate. This team, if they're able to win this weekend, the Waterdogs have a true chance to like separate themselves from the pack, all pun intended, in the Eastern Conference and be a true contender to win the East for the first time. They're doing this without number 1 overall pick CJ Kirst, and they're just having fun. And I think that's the key to success for any team. We saw it with the Eagles. We've seen it with the Phillies. When your team is having fun, they are super successful. So I can't recommend it enough. Turn on ESPN this weekend and take in the Waterdogs. And if you need more information on the PLL, download the PLL app in the App Store or Google Play Store, because the PLL app is your one-stop shop for everything PLL. It's your way to keep up to date with the Waterdogs as well. If you want to just hyper-focus it, it's a gamified app. There's trivia, PLL fantasy, daily, like I said, trivia, daily questions, and game predictors. So much more in the app. Guys, can't recommend it enough. And when you earn XP in the app, it unlocks different features like PLL shop discounts, you unlock ESPN Plus subscriptions, a whole lot more. Download the PLL app in the App Store, Google Play Store, and when you go to the redeem code section, use code OTBPOD. That's code OTBPOD. You get 500 XP on your account in the PLL app. Again, that's code OTBPOD in the redeem code section on the PLL app to get 500 XP on your account. And download the PLL app to stay up to date with the Waterdogs and the entire league all season long and just all year round. Shout out to the PLL and our PLL app code. Last bit here, because I just had to end on a note that I had to formulate just all of my thoughts, because it's just crazy to me how this organization just continues to fumble every aspect of existing. The Philadelphia 76ers, Ace Bailey was almost like a certified lock of a pick at pick 3, a player where you need young wing play. This team has Jared McCain coming off of injury. You have Tyrese Maxey. You have Joel Embiid. You have Peace. You have Paul George. Let's get some young wing play. And for whatever reason, whether it be the advice of Ace Bailey's camp or the Sixers just trying to get cute with everything, Ace Bailey canceled his workout with the Sixers that was supposed to happen on Friday, today as I record this, because he did not get a promise from the 76ers that they would be taking him at pick number 3. And the more and more I read into it, the more and more I feel like we're avoiding disaster because of the people that are in Ace Bailey's ear. I'm not putting this on Ace Bailey. I'm putting this in the camp of his agent, who gave his only other client, his agent's only other client is his agent's son, and gave him horrendous advice, and he fell to the second round when he was drafted. I'm not saying Ace Bailey's fallen in the second round, but as an 18-year-old that Ace Bailey is, you have to do such a major vetting process of who is representing you. And to take on somebody as representation that has only had one prominent client in the past, and you saw what happened to that client, and that only client is that person's son, that should be a red flag. I don't understand how the Sixers can wind up with a top 3 pick and just bungle this whole thing. It's why I have lost so much interest in the 76ers. It's why I have lost so much interest in just the NBA in general. Like, when I rank my sports right now and just my level of excitement, like, my S tier is football, baseball. And guess what else is in S tier, guys? Lacrosse. Whether it's PLL, NLL, I'm far more inclined to turn on a lacrosse game than I am an NBA game. Far more inclined. And my optimism about the Flyers has hockey in like a B- tier right now. NBA is in the sewer in terms of like my interest, in terms of my excitement levels, in terms of just like what I want to support. The Sixers alienate their fan base so much. They don't care about the fans. They don't care about anything but the bottom line, and that's money. Okay? And I can't wait for the day that Josh Harris is no longer the owner of the Sixers, because he does not care about this team. He's got other shiny toys now that he wants to play with. The day that Josh Harris gets out from being the owner of the Sixers will be the greatest day for that organization. And maybe, just maybe, it'll reignite my interest in the team. But genuinely, I couldn't be more out on a Philly sports franchise than I am on the 76ers. They drive me crazy. It brings me no joy to even talk about them. I give so much credit to the Kyle Neubecks and Derek Bodners and Devon Givens and so many people who, Sixers Adam, like, who make the Sixers their thing that is their career. I give them so much credit because I would genuinely go in fucking sane if I had to dedicate my life to talking about the Sixers. I don't know how they do it. I give them so much credit. But, the NBA draft is a short ways away. It'll be next Wednesday at 8 Eastern. So we will probably have some sort of stream for the NBA draft, which will be a ton of fun. We'll record a podcast right after, and I'll yell at the clouds about what the Sixers end up doing with the pick, because I just genuinely don't know anymore. I'm so just dissociated. And I wasn't that way during the process era. I was all in on the team. I was all in on the direction. I was all in on everything. And year by year, outside of Joel, Tyrese, and Jared McCain, as people and players, I'm just so out on the Sixers, man. And, yes, I will probably end up getting one of the revitalized City Edition jerseys from the Iverson era, because it's one of my favorite jerseys in all of sports. But other than that, man, this team is just they're like soul-sucking leeches. They leave you so empty inside. And it's an organizational problem, and I just genuinely don't know what they can do to bring me back in. And it sucks, because I should be, year in and year out, I should be excited about this team. But they find ways to make it so difficult to root for them, from the front office, ownership, to just not knowing who's going to be on the team year in and year out. It's a new cast of characters every God-forsaken year. How do you build a connection with your fan base when every player outside of 2 to 3 prominent guys, in this case Joel and Tyrese Maxey for the majority of this time frame, have been new? Like, I know Kelly Oubre's been here for a couple years. Jared McCain will hopefully be here for a long time. But outside of that, it's just been a revolving door of talent, of non-talent, of guys leaving and getting better. TJ McConnell's a game away from being an NBA champion. Isaiah Joe is a game away from being an NBA champion. And it's just like, it's so frustrating because you watch what's going on in the NBA Finals with the Pacers and the Thunder, two small market teams. And you just watch the way they're playing. You watch the way the teams in the playoffs have been playing just overall. And the Sixers are so far off of what those teams are. The Sixers are almost playing a different sport than what these playoff teams have been playing. I've watched some of these playoff games and some of these NBA Finals games, and I'm just like, that's not the sport the Sixers are playing. What is this sport? Because if that's basketball, what are the Sixers doing? It blows my mind how far behind and just left in the dust the Sixers are right now. And that makes it difficult to invest any of your fan energy and your fan currency in that organization. It truly makes it nearly impossible to have any kind of faith, trust, or fan equity in the Philadelphia 76ers right now because they are just kings of alienating a fan base. They make you wonder day in and day out, week in and week out, year in and year out about what is to come. And I just can't do it. I can't. And it sucks. It truly sucks. And that's what the Sixers have done. They have sucked my fandom straight out of me, as soul-sucking leeches they are. It's brutal. It's a brutal time. Leave me a voicemail. Let me know how you're feeling about the Sixers going into the NBA draft, how you're feeling about them right now. Are you in the same boat as me? I feel like I'm almost taking crazy pills that I feel this way because it always feels like everyone's so optimistic about the Sixers, but I can't be optimistic anymore. There's no optimism about this team. There's player optimism, but as a franchise and the direction they're in, there's no optimism whatsoever. And if you are feeling optimism, if you feel optimistic about this team, let me know how, why, because I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But yeah, our Sixers breakdown there, brought to you by our friends over at Bino. Guys, I love Bino. It's the next big tabletop game for your tailgates, your man caves, your she sheds, your parties. You break out a Bino board, you're going to get the people going, okay? It's paper football meets foosball for the next big tabletop flicking experience. Use our link in the description. Shop with Bino. Get your officially licensed Philadelphia Union boards. They've got officially licensed European club boards from Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool, and more. You can customize boards. You can get custom accessories and so much more. Use our link in the description to shop with our friends at Bino. And when you have your cart filled up, when you go to checkout, use code BinoBennett62. That's code BinoBennett62 at checkout to get 10% off your entire order from our friends at Bino. Again, code BinoBennett62 at checkout when you use our link in the description to shop with our friends at Bino to get 10% off your entire order from our friends at Bino. One final thing here, too, that I want to touch on from just a spoiler-free aspect. I do want to try to get Casey and Owen on. this show to talk about it. We were afforded the opportunity, myself, Casey, Owen, Christian, and we brought in our good friend of the program, Corey Critelli, to the advanced screening and premiere party for F1 the movie, starring Brad Pitt. One of the coolest experiences I've had since starting this company. The overall display of this event was incredible. We got to spend 2 hours at the F1 arcade, complimentary food and drink, ability to use the race simulators, and just vibe out with fellow creators, fellow influencers that were there. And then we got to walk on over to the AMC in Philly, the Dolby AMC, and get an advanced screening of F1 the movie. Guys, I'm not even being paid to talk about this, but when I say I can't recommend going and seeing this movie enough, I genuinely mean that. It was such an awesome viewing experience. Highly recommend seeing it in one of the elevated theaters, whether it's a Dolby and IMAX, the Regal equivalent. It's a 2.5 hour movie that doesn't feel 2.5 hours long. There's action, the cinematography, and I know that's a lazy term to throw around when you're talking about a movie, but genuinely, because it's a co-production with Warner Brothers and Apple, you're getting the Apple visuals and technology and sound. It was breathtaking to watch this movie. Truly breathtaking. It was really well written. Brad Pitt was incredible. On top of that, the star of the movie for me was Damson Idris, who plays Joshua Pierce in the film. He has been in Snowfall, Outside the Wire, Farming, Swarm, City of Tiny Lights. I truly believe, and he's going to be in Children of Blood and Bone in 2027, which is... What is Children of Blood and Bone? Oh, it's based on a book. Okay. I didn't know if it was like a remake of something, but I'm officially putting this on the record. Damson Idris is next up. I loved him in this film. And you guys know I have like an eye for talent here and there. Damson Idris is next up. He's 33 years old. I think he's going to be a superstar simply because of this movie. Kerry Condon was great. Javier Bardem was awesome. You get visuals of all the drivers being part of this as well, and it's just such an enjoyable movie. I can't recommend it enough. It's in theaters June 27th, so about a week from today. I will be going and seeing this movie again because it was that entertaining, that fun, that much fun, and I want to see more movies like this get made. Okay, that's how like I view it. Is if you want to see movies that aren't traditional to, your typical Marvel, Star Wars, Disney remakes, whatever it may be, and you want to see more unique and conceptual ideas get made in the future, go support the ones that come out. Go support the C+ B- tier comedy movies. Go support the independent A24 type films. Go support a movie like F1 the movie. It is it's the perfect way to kick off your summer. It is the perfect summer movie to just sit back, relax in a movie theater for 2.5 hours and just enjoy a very entertaining experience. So big thank you to Warner Brothers Philadelphia. Big thank you to everyone that had us out at the event. It was truly an incredible experience. From Warner Brothers Philadelphia to Allied Global Marketing, they put on a show for us, and it was truly something I'll remember forever. And if you haven't been to the F1 arcade yet either in Philly, do yourself a favor. That place is awesome spot. Go to the F1 arcade. but I do want to get Casey and Owen on the show, hopefully pretty soon, to talk about everything that we experienced with the old F1, the movie advanced screening. That is all I've got for you guys. Make sure you're following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. We got a Waterdogs and Phillies weekend upcoming where we'll be in person for them, so definitely follow along with us. You can follow me on Twitter at KBICZL311, KBICZLE11 on Instagram and Threads. Subscribe to the pod, subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. It goes a long way for helping not only this show continue to grow, but every show on our network continue to grow. And subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. That's where you get full video episodes of this show every week, twice a week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It's all on our YouTube channel. We're 23 subscribers away from our next subscriber milestone. And like I said, when we get to 2,000 subscribers, we will announce a new, very fun project that I want to implement to this company. So if you want that project sooner rather than later, subscribe to the YouTube, youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. And this show, guys, is proudly presented by the city of Vineland. And whether you're a company looking to expand, relocate, or you're a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process, and their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you, someone you know, considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. This has been episode number 752 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Had a lot of fun recording this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'm your boy KB. I will see you from Johns Hopkins University this weekend for PLL, and you will see me at Sunday Night Baseball at Citizens Bank Park for the fight in Phils. And then you'll have an episode on Monday recapping everything as we get set for the NBA draft, the NHL draft, and a whole lot more. But until then, I'm getting the heck up out of here, and I'm signing off. Go Phils, go Dogs, go Sixers. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.